What's up, everybody? It's Old Man Winter 8 for Sun and Ski Sports, and we're going to find out if the K2 Antidote is a wise buy for you. So the Antidote is a key board within Sage Kotzenberg's dopamine collection in the K2 lineup. You can see that it is a directional shape. We have a little bit of a pointed nose and we've got a little bit of a squattier tail, but you can see that it's not super directional where there's a huge difference between the nose and the tail like a lot of the directional boards that you see nowadays. This does have a little bit more of a medium stiff flex overall, and then when we look at the profile on it, it is a full traditional camber from contact point to contact point, but they do have a little bit of a 3D shape in the nose and in the tail that kind of comes down through that contact point. So even though you're getting all that power exactly where you need it through the middle of the board, giving you the stability, giving you the pop, but you do have that little bit of relief at your contact point. So when you are trying to ride the board flat, it's not trying to jump on edge. And as you are going from edge to edge, it is making a little bit easier, smoother transitions. And then when we go inside of the board, we're looking at their A1 core. And what's really important about this thing is that underneath your feet, we have aspen and bamboo pieces of wood that are arranged at a 30-degree angle. So we're taking that pressure from your bindings and we're spreading it out over a bigger area of your edges so you get better edge hold and you get a little bit more stability underfoot. And then from there, when we go to the fiberglass on this thing, it is wrapped in a full triax fiberglass from tip to tail, both top and bottom. So you're getting the power where you need it across the board. You're also getting that extra spring and pop along the length of the board. And as if that wasn't enough, this thing is souped up with stringers that are running completely from tip to tail. You can actually see them through the top sheet where the graphic is a little more translucent. And then on top of that, this thing also has carbon X's that go from just inside your bindings all the way up to your contact points on both the tip and the tail. So adding even more spring, even more pop, and even more stability. So in conjunction with those X's that are underneath your bindings in the core, you literally have got power transfer from your bindings from the middle of the board all the way out to your contact points. And then a couple things up in the tips that are pretty rad. They have that 3D recess in the nose and the tail, which is helping to lighten up the tips and produce that swing weight without reducing durability. And they also have space glass in both the nose and the tail, which is reducing the swing weight even more. So when you get this thing into the air, it's gonna spin and feel like a much smaller board. And then another benefit of that space glass up in the nose and tail is that when you're on the snow and you are ripping carves on some of those harder, icier conditions, it really does help reduce that chatter up in your tips so the board can hold an even better edge. And then when we flip around to the bottom on this thing, it has their wax infused 4001 sintered base that is crazy fast and super durable. But is the K2 Antidote a wise buy for you? Well, this is definitely for those advanced riders who are looking for freestyle performance built into a free ride board. It does have a little bit of a setback, but it's only 3/4 of an inch, so you can move this thing forward and make it feel a little bit more twin. But obviously when you get into that deep snow, you're gonna want that little bit of extra nose and that little less tail so it can float. And then with all that carbon inside of the board, this thing does have a ton of power. It's got a lot of spring and a lot of pop along the length of the board, obviously in and out of your turns, but it also is something that's gonna sturdy up the board when you get into the deep snow, along with those 3D tips pushing the snow away from the nose of the board. It's gonna wanna float better too. This really is the perfect board for those free riders who want a board that can ride big lines in the backcountry, but they also want something that they can treat the backcountry exactly like it's their park. But if you got any questions about anything that we talked about in the video, definitely leave some comments down below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Sun and Ski YouTube channel, and make sure to head on into your local Sun and Ski so you can check out the K2 Antidote for yourself. And if you don't have one nearby, no problem. You can always look them up at sunandski.com.